want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Everything Old Skool Podcast, affiliated with Toxic Magazine. Big shout out to Shanique Bird. I call her S Brilliant. And today we have two guests. Introduce yourself, ladies.
Hi, I'm Keisha. I live in Dallas.
And
Hi, my name is Martina Alves. I live in Houston.
Oh, really?
okay, so
You're my neighbor.
Yes, ma'am.
yes. So what we're going to talk about today, I'm going to do this a little different. I usually write down questions and I ask the guests, but we're just going to have a conversation this time. So I'm going to switch the format up. Now, the subject matter of today is focused to women. I want to know, and I know you ladies can only speak for yourselves, but at the same time, you can probably speak for a lot of other women too. So I want to know, is it hard, or can you be with a man in a serious long relationship if he doesn't please you sexually? So that's the topic. Can you be with a man long term and he doesn't please you sexually? Now, I'm aware that there might be some situations where it might not always have been like that. And maybe the man did satisfy you in the beginning of the relationship, or he got older, or he got sick, or he got in an accident. That's a little different. I'm assuming. So I wanna start with Keisha, if you don't mind. And chime in anytime, Dr. Malaverse. Chime in anytime. So I want to know, Keisha, do you think you can be with the man long term in his car ain't starting, to be gentle and easy?
Well, just like you said, in the beginning, it might have been everything was okay and he could have been sick or got injured. But I think my personal opinion is that's up to the individual. If you love somebody, it could go either way. It could go either way, because if you really love somebody, you took them vows, you said for better or for worse. To me, it's up to the individual. That's my personal opinion.
But what about you? Because sooner or later, if you was in that situation, sooner or later, aren't you going to want the real thing? I'm asking. I'm not insinuating.
Well, and you know what? Yeah.
For you.
The answer to your question is yeah. But as you get older, up in age, it's not there's toys out there. It's not really that important to you. Again, and then that's again my question is, that's up to the individual. Now I can't speak for other women. I can only speak for myself. At my age, and I'll be almost 60, sex ain't important to me like that anymore.
Oh, see, I didn't think of that angle. I didn't think
I'm
about
almost 60 years old. I can go either way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay,
It's not
yeah.
important to me no more. Like, it's different when you're 60 and when you're 20. It's a different thing.
Oh.
I'm more seasoned now. So it's not really that important to me. It's like, oh, well, I can go grab me a toy if it's that serious.
Oh, that's okay. See,
That's
I didn't even think of the age factor for a woman. I didn't even think of that. But what says you, Dr. Malaverse?
First of all, Miss Keisha, I want to be like you when I grow up, because you said you pushing 60.
In a few months.
Oh, you look great.
Thank you.
You look great.
And let me say, and Marquise is my brother.
Oh, you poor thing. Oh, what happened? What happened to you, Marquise?
He's my baby. He's my baby brother.
I guess I got the wrong end of the stick.
Yeah,
You know I'm just messing with you.
Yeah,
I love you,
Marquise.
you look fabulous, girl.
Thank you.
Well, I'm 45. And sex still matters to me. This is a loaded question though, because there are a lot of factors. I'm glad that y'all cleared up that maybe it's something that changed, because I was wondering, how did I even end up in a long-term relationship with somebody who's not pleasing me? So you gave a lot of different scenarios. I think for me, if I'm already in a relationship, so I'm in the relationship, right? It's already long. That's what we're saying. Or are you saying
Either way, either way, if he doesn't satisfy you at first, will you give him a pass? And you end up in a long relationship, or you in a long relationship and he never satisfied you, but you just loved him, or you were on in a long relationship and he can't satisfy you anymore. So all scenarios apply.
so? Okay, like I said, I'm 45. I don't know if I did say that. And I've actually left situations because because of the sex. Um, but that was a long time ago. I guess if I'm 45 and let's say I was with somebody since my 20s, high school or whatever, and something changed, then I would stick it out. But if it for me, if if I'm not that vested, that's a deal breaker.
If you're not what? I'm sorry.
If I'm not that invested in the relationship, that's a deal breaker. So I mean, if I was married, like Keisha said, I took my vows. That's I made a commitment. But I mean, there's just so much in between. There's alternatives. Keisha mentioned a toy, and it sounded like she would go off and do that by herself. But I mean, there's other things that you can do with your partner too. But it depends on the reason. The reason why he's not performing, I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, it could be a lot of issues, medical issues. I mean, it could be a lot of issues. But see, I've been with my husband for over 20 years. I'm not going to just walk away because he can't perform. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just walk away because, I mean, I just got too much time in. To start all over and train somebody what you want them to do, I ain't got time for that.
Okay, so how about Keisha? How about when you were younger? Did you have the same mentality about?
No.
So if he wasn't giving you the hot sausage the way you like it, then it ain't gonna work, or you would see someone else, or how would that have worked back then?
Well, I got married at 18, so I never had them issues with not being satisfied.
Oh, lucky you, I guess, huh?
Yeah, back then I didn't. Like I said, I'm 60. I've tried everything. And I guess right now I'm more seasoned. It doesn't mean that much to me anymore.
Okay, so Dr. Malavers,
so you, Dr. Malavers, I am not a doctor by any stretch of that word.
Okay.
False advertising over here.
So how about so you're still sexually invested. So if you was with a man now, or you find someone now at 45 and he couldn't perform, does he still have to go?
That's a hard question. I would like to say yes, because like I said, it's a big thing for me. Everybody is different. It's a big thing for me. And it wasn't always a big thing for me. But sex is important. It's a basic need. It has so many health benefits. It keeps me stress-free. So it's a big thing for me. But at the same time, I'm 45 and I'm single. I'm not single by choice, like people would like to say. I'm single by choice in the sense that I'm not going to just accept anything, but I would like to be with somebody. So if I met somebody and everything else was good except for the sex, I would like to say that's a deal breaker, but I don't know. At this point in my life, maybe it's something that I would consider. But it also will have to do, again, with the reason, but also, too, what the man is willing to do to make up for that. And I think that that's huge, because even like when you say in marriage, in sicknesses and in health, right? That accountability is not only on the person who's well, it's on the person who's sick too. Like how are we going to make this durable and comfortable and beneficial for both parties? There's two people involved, right? So a lot of times when men have those issues, they're already in their head. They're prideful. So you as the man, what are you doing to make up for that? What are you willing to?
Now tell everybody. Now listen to this, Keisha, because this is deep, and I hope it don't give you no ideas. But Dr. Malivers, tell everybody what you did, what you said last night when we was discussing this about what the man can do to make up for his lack of ability to perform.
What exactly are you talking about? There are a lot of things. There
the strap on you were
toys.
talking about.
Okay, you talking about? I heard that there's a strap on that ejaculates, and I know that there's a lot of like different sex toys. You got dildos that have foreskin on them, that curve, all different sizes, and I know like the lesbians use some lesbians. Let me not get myself in trouble now. Use strap-ons, and I heard that there's one that's really, really lifelike to the point where it ejaculates. So there's stuff like that. I mean, me personally, I don't know if that would work for me because I'm not really a big toy person. Like my interest in toys is just a fascination at the, innovation and creativity of people. But using toys for me is not really a thing. But in a situation like that, I don't know. But I don't. Have you ever heard of that, Keisha?
I heard of toys, but not the one. I heard of toys, but not the one that you're talking about. I have a vibrator over the. So I've heard of them. Yeah, I definitely heard of them. I'm not into toys. I'm not. My husband's into toys. He watches porn. He watches all that. But again, everybody's sexual appetite is different.
But you see, we missing the point. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't make the point clear. Now, what she was saying about the dildos, just a few minutes ago before that, she said, well, what is the man willing to do to make up for that? So we was discussing last night, it came up. Now, wonder if a man has to compensate sometimes. So they might want the man to strap up with the dildo on and give it to his wife with a dildo just to please his wife. Remember we had that conversation? Would that be would that be a deal breaker?
Not
would you be willing to do that, Keisha?
Nope, because I'm not into stuff like that. You ain't strapping nothing on me. If you want to, you ain't strapping nothing on me, number one. You ain't putting no handcuffs on me, number two. I'm not into all that. If you want to compensate, go buy me a diamond.
Oh.
What's a diamond?
A 3, 4, 5 carat diamond ring. Go buy me that.
Look, I'm thinking like,
okay, I didn't think of that angle either. So Dr. Malibu, so you wouldn't mind your significant other strapping on a dildo to give it to you to compensate? I'm asking, not insinuating.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't mind. I'm saying like if it was that far gone, it'd be something I would be willing to try. I don't know that would work for me because I don't like dildos or anything like that.
But you'd be willing to try.
Yeah, but especially because I guess it's different in a sense because for me, sex is also a lot about the connection that I have with the person. So maybe in that sense, whatever it is I don't like about the plastic, it could. I don't know. Yeah. If I'm in a relationship with somebody who I really love, and that's the only thing that's that's an issue, I would be willing to try various things.
Now wonder if the man is not willing to meet you halfway and he don't want to put that thing on.
That's a problem. I mean, I've had issues like that with men who don't have issues getting the car started. That's a big thing for me. The connection and you being attentive and listening to what I like and what I need. One thing that I hate about in a sexual partner is somebody who's doing something to me and I'm telling you I don't like it because you think you know more than I do about. You think you know my body more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
So the intent for me, I think that I possibly could stay long-term in a relationship with somebody who was not performing if they were so intentional and wanted to please me so much. That alone would turn me on.
Mm. See, so I'm glad this is working out because this is a conversation with two women in two different places in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She said, "Give me a diamond ring, and hey, I'll touch myself." You know what I mean? You didn't say that, but I'm just taking it there. And you're saying, you a diamond. I'm assuming you're saying a diamond ain't gonna work. I need to get mine's off right now at this stage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that two different stages in life. So Keisha, so let okay, so you're in a different spot in life. So you can take it or leave it. So soon but do you still get that urge like I just want it like just one more time? Because I know that there's 60-year-old women that they still need it. Give me that mandingo. You're just not one of them apparently.
Yeah,
So
but I don't know if I can say this, but
well,
I'm gonna
if you're
try.
uncomfortable, don't
I'm
say
gonna
it.
try. No, it's not that. I'm gonna try to keep it clean. Yes, I still have urges. Um, I don't like
By
to.
nature.
Yeah, I have urges, but there's other ways that I mean, there's oral sex. There's all type of things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
You don't necessarily have to use a toy.
but what I'm saying is I'm to the point and I'm assuming that sooner or later you want the real thing. Sooner or later. And I'm
So
not
the
speaking
oral
for
sex or whatever else you compensating for it won't last.
yeah, because sooner or later you want penetration. That's the word I'm thinking of. And
Yeah,
I'm
you're
assuming.
right. Yeah, and sometimes you have oral sex and then you get tired of that. You want the real thing. But again, that goes back to what I said. I do use toys. I
Oh,
don't use them. Wait a minute. I don't use them a lot because I don't like them. But I mean, I make up for it.
uh-oh. Okay. I won't hear no more. But I hear you. Okay, now this is something me and Dr. Malavers brought up. And I'm going to ask you again, Dr. Mal, but I'm going to ask you first, Keisha, because you've been married for decades. Um, Now this is just hypothetical, and I hope I don't stir no trouble in Dallas. So how would you feel, or are you the type of woman that say, okay, you can't, I love you, you can't satisfy me, so let me go get me a piece once a month or once every 6 months just to keep me balanced. How do you feel about that? Not saying that you
You
would do
mean
it.
me or you mean me?
Yeah,
You talking
you
about me?
go. Yeah,
No,
go
because I'm
get you
not that.
some hot
I'm not that.
sauces.
Yeah, I'm not that type of woman. I don't
Okay.
do that. Mm-mm. And
What
now,
about you, Dr. Malavers? So, because I
Oh
think you
no,
down for it.
I would say one thing I would say is if I was not able for whatever reason able to please my man more, although I would be really, really afraid of him leaving me or the relationship being over, and maybe I would even entertain letting him go. That's something I definitely would entertain for him. For me personally,
That's deep.
yeah, that is deep.
yeah.
I mean, you giving your spouse, your mate, your significant other, giving it okay to go out and do what he want to do.
Sounds like a hall pass to me.
No, it's definitely a hall pass. I mean, if I can't sex, let's not minimize sex. Now, to certain individuals, sex might not be a big thing. There's, you have asexual people, you have people who don't have sex, right? But you're in a relationship with me. We are having sex like rabbits. Then all of a sudden something happens to me, and I can't give you that anymore. And so now, for even at this age, 45, right? It's not like we young, but you still have a lot left in you. So now you have to dead that whole part of yourself for me. I mean, if that's a decision that he wanted to make.
He made that decision when he said I do.
We all have our beliefs.
Okay, well, everybody has different beliefs. That's true. You're right. Everybody has different beliefs. But
even if I put that cap on,
uh-huh.
I think there's exceptions to certain things. I mean, I don't know anybody who follows those laws who follow them all the way. So that's something that will concern me a lot. I would feel horrible knowing that even though you made this commitment to me, that part of your life will have to shut down, because that's not something that, is rare, and it's not something that we anticipate. So me being able to do it now, my concern would be how he feels and if he's jealous or whatever. I mean, I believe it's something that I could maintain, but my concern would be, once you open those doors, there's always friction, especially with the men, because they're hypocrites and they act like they can deal with certain things and they can't.
Okay, so let me understand what you're saying. You're saying if, let's say, you were sick or whatever the case may be, and you can't perform anymore, you feel that it's okay for your husband to go out there once a month and do whatever it is he want to do to satisfy himself? You think that's okay? You think that's okay?
It's never okay. It's an unfortunate situation. It's not like, I mean, the reason behind it is what the exception is.
Right. I understand.
You understand what I mean? It's like I'm willing to accommodate you in a sense, because what also is not okay for me is, so what, you gonna be celibate now for the rest of your life?
And you know what I would have said? Yep, you're gonna have to be. You made that choice when you said I do. Because if my husband turned around and told me, look, I know you sick and I need to do this, I'll break his face.
And these relationships are really popular now with all the poly and stuff going on. Aside from all of that, because I don't subscribe to any of that. I mean, I don't judge it. To each his own.
Right.
So even before, I don't want anybody to think like, oh, it's so easy for me to say that because I'm, accustomed to that lifestyle or with that lifestyle. Anyway, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with
that individual.
This man is 45 and you can't have sex anymore. You're gonna do it anyway. That's another thing. That I don't feel like the average man will be able to be faithful in a sexless marriage.
So let me ask you this, Doc. If you give him permission to go and have sex with someone else once a month or whatever, do you consider that cheating? Even though you know about it and you give him permission, do you consider that cheating?
Cheating to me, this has nothing to do with the biblical sense, because it's infidelity. As biblically, it's infidelity no matter how you cut it. Cheating to me is when you're dishonest. So if you're honest, and I couldn't even have it be some arrangement once a month. I'm not keeping track. Just be respectful of me.
Okay, so if he tells you, I found another woman, I like her, and I'm going to see her, he's being honest.
Yeah.
Is that cheating?
I mean, to me, technically it's cheating, but I'm not looking at it as you're cheating on. Like, that's not something I'm holding against him.
So you're saying that, and hold that thought, Keisha. So you're saying, I'm asking if you're saying, I don't want to put words in your mouth. So you're saying if you're in a relationship and your man is honest with you, baby, I found someone else, I met someone else, I like her, and I respect you. I want you, and I don't want to leave you, but I want to get to know her better.
But this is different. You talking about you liking her, you want to get to know her better. No, that's you.
But the point is, he's being honest with you.
Yeah, no, I don't want him to like that.
So is that? Oh, so
but you gave a permission to cheat. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
I mean, don't tell me that then. I don't need to know that you're liking her and you want to. No, you're not going to come to me and ask me if you can have a whole other relationship. Now, if you're just having a transactional sex, there's people who do that for years and it's just sex.
They don't
really like each other.
So if he's honest with you and he's
about
saying
having a casual relationship,
while he's your man,
Uh-huh.
and he's having sex, yeah, casual sex with another woman, you can live with that.
So
I'm asking.
you never could say what you could do until you're in the situation. But me just thinking about it right now, I think I could do.
I couldn't.
Oh, okay. Okay, Doc. I hear you, Doc.
Because I mean, he's gonna do it anyway.
No, they won't. You pushing him out the door, telling him, giving him permission to do it once a month. He's gonna keep.
We all have our beliefs.
He's gonna start off once a month, then it's gonna be every 3 weeks.
And you know, that's what I'm saying. It's not an ideal situation. And I could get to the point where maybe I'm like, it's over. But for me to sit and no disrespect, Keisha, but to sit in the delusion that my man is going to be faithful to me until we die, and we're not having sex, I don't believe that. That's why
we're not having sex. But there's other things out there, just like you were talking about, just like I was talking about oral. I mean, there's a lot of different things.
Yeah, but men is different. Men is different.
A1 head, and he's still not going to want vagina.
That's what I'm saying, Keisha. I think you're speaking from a woman, but from a man point, sooner or later, you know what I mean. We gonna want the real thing too. You know what I mean. Sooner or later. Say it again.
I said I understand that, but I'm not going to give him permission to go see somebody once a month.
There's that too, and that's where it's a personal choice. You may not give permission, but you know what's going on, or you have a suspicion, because hopefully he's being respectful. Like I said, it's an unfortunate situation, and men do it when you're fully functional and on your back waiting for them. They do it. So, if you are of that mindset, because I know there are a lot of women who are like, no, I'm not giving you that pass. I understand that too. But to think that a man can be in a sexless relationship, I don't think that's
at a certain age. I want to be. Let's be at a certain. Maybe.
Yeah, 80 maybe.
90 maybe, and they're gonna darn sure try 82. They're gonna do something. Where them pills at?
And then there's that too, because they may not even be able to put it down like that, but they just want to be able. Because for men too, yeah, it's definitely the feelings and the nerve endings down there, right? But it also is ego. True or false?
I wouldn't say. It depends on your maturity in life. If you 20, 16, 19, I did this.
There's a lot of immature.
But when you of a certain age, well, let's put it this way. You're right. When you're in a certain maturity in your mind, then there is you've been there, done that. You just want one. You just want one woman. You know what I mean? Once you become a certain maturity in your mind, but yeah, there's ego involved if you're young-minded, yes. But like I said, once you mature, one is enough. You know what I mean?
But you're in a situation where technically you don't even have that one.
Sometimes.
So
indeed. So Keisha, and then I'm gonna come back to you, Dr. Malivers, because I didn't touch the point that I wanted to. Wonder if the man isn't willing to strap on the dildo that shoots the juice. What you gonna do? So I want you to think about that. I'm gonna go back to Dallas. So Dallas, Texas, what's happening? What's the weather out there right now?
Oh, it's gorgeous, like a spring day. About 82.
82. So were you ever? You say you 60, pushing 60. How could I put it? I'm trying not to get too much in your business because you my sister. There's certain things I don't want to know. You dig? So you say a ring at this point. Okay, so let me switch it up. And I think I know the answer, but I want to clarify. So if something was wrong with you, right? Now we speak and we're speaking in the mentality and the situation that we're in now. But if circumstances was to change, you know, who knows how we would think. We might change with the circumstance. And I say that to say this. Say if something did happen to you, Keisha, and you had to be stitched up for 9 months. You wouldn't give your husband, and he's telling you, I need something. And you can't do nothing for him. In no way. You know what I mean? Your fingers broke, your wrist dislocated. You know what I mean? You scratching your head with your wrist. You can't even touch.
I'd rather him divorce. I'd rather him divorce me and move on.
9 months. I'm not even going for that.
I can't, because number one, you're not gonna go lay up next to somebody knowing the situation I am and then come back to me. There's too much stuff out here. I can't do that. There's too much out here. Nowadays, you don't know if men and men and women and women.
So how about if you permanently injured? And you probably can't.
We would have to legally. We would just have to legally get divorced.
So you rather divorce him?
No. That's peace of mind. Because I'm not gonna be worrying about what you're doing or what you bringing me. That's peace of mind. It's nothing like a peace of mind. I'd rather you just divorce me and go do what you need to do.
That's fair. That's a mature attitude.
That's peace. I don't want to worry about where you at, what you're doing, who you with, especially every time you walk out the door. That's too much stress. So I'd rather you go ahead, divorce me, do what you're going to do, and then let me get this monkey off my back, and you go ahead and be happy. I'll be happy. Everybody's fine. Back and forth. We ain't going to do that.
So Dr. Malavers, back to you now. I want to revisit when you said that there's many things that your mate can do to make up for his lack of being able to perform. Now, I wonder if he isn't willing to do those things, whatever it is you want him to do, or you guys talk about, like the strap on, for instance. I wonder if he's not too manly, because I don't know too many men that would do that. At least I don't think I do.
And I mean, I don't know if I would enjoy it. That was just, an example. We were talking about all the alternatives. I think another thing too that we haven't addressed is he being taken care of emotionally? Is he seeing somebody about it? Because a lot of times too, the reason why, that can cause you to fall into depression, all types of things.
What do you mean? What can cause you?
If you're a man and you can't get your car started.
Okay.
Right? That's a blow. Many facets of you. Like it's a blow to your ego. It's a blow to your commitment to me and you wanting to please me. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm probably not going to end up with anybody who is not hell bent on pleasing me, because that's really, really big for me, right?
That's
so
fair.
Are we getting you help with that? Like if we've tried everything and your intent is just not there, you don't want to, then I don't probably need to break up.
No matter how much you love them.
I mean, that's not, I'm not in the thick of that love, but
see, that's the meat of the conversation, that long-term relationship.
It's possible is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We may, yes, regardless of how much I love you, we may. Because I mean, what I've come to find is that love is not enough. There's so many outliers. Love is not enough.
Yeah, that's true, but and that is so true. But at the same time, doesn't love, like the song the Shy Lights is my favorite group. They have a song called Love Is. Okay. So also, isn't love tolerating things that you usually wouldn't, or putting up with things that you usually wouldn't?
Absolutely. And love is also making effort. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, okay, we could do this all day. I can love somebody so much, but they just don't want to get it together financially. They're sucking me dry. I'm going to get to a point where that love is not enough because I can't even pay my bills.
But what if everything is
so
right?
Many reasons.
But what if everything is right? I mean, he's the man of your dreams, but the sauces just don't cook. Well, that's what I'm saying. What if everything is right?
What we're talking about too, we're pigeonholing it and making it just about sex, but it's really not just about sex. If you're not even making an effort or you don't have an intention, that goes a little further than sex. You see what I'm saying?
You do have a point. You do have a point. It's not just about sex. It's all the other things too. So I do agree with that point.
Right. So like for me to be willing to accommodate your deficiency, right? That's not only about sex. That's about my love for you. That's about me wanting to move the relationship forward. You know, I'm making exceptions for you. If you're not doing the same, that's a little bit more than sex. That's an issue. And like I told you, remember I said, I think I could deal with a man who totally couldn't please me anymore, but I know he was putting in the effort. That alone might make up for it for me.
Okay, so she need a diamond ring, you need effort.
Yeah.
And that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. And
at my age, like I said, it's not really that important to me. But what's important to me, show me you appreciate me. Bring me some flowers here and there. Bring me a diamond.
That's your love language.
Right.
Yeah, y'all basically saying the same thing. Effort.
We saying the same thing, but different ways. Because when I was your age, I wanted the same things you wanted.
Spank me, hurt me, you dirty mother. All of that, huh?
Yeah, when I'll be 60, all that's not important to me no more. I'll walk through sales. Oh, I like that diamond ring. I want that. You know what I'm saying? That's important to me now. It may sound materialistic, but it is what it is. That's what I want.
No, that's not materialistic.
No, not at all. I don't see that it is either. Because again, it's not just about the diamond, right? It's not about the diamond, how much the diamond costs. It's
why he's getting the diamond.
Right. And then I may go home that night and want some. If you can't perform, you can't perform. I don't care. I got that diamond, what I wanted.
We're going to try it. We're going to do something, even for half a second. We're going to grease me.
Yeah, I hear that.
I mean, it is what it is. I ain't mad at you.
But check back in with me when I'm 60, because I would like to think that I'm not going to change until it just all stops working. I think I'm gonna be the little nasty old lady in the nursing home.
And that's another thing we was talking about. What you say you're gonna be the nasty old lady
in the nursing home?
You gonna be the cougar?
Chasing down the AIDS.
I heard that. And that's another thing we was discussing, because when it comes to sex, the pressure is always on the man. It's always on the man to perform, because as women, all y'all got to do, and I'm not trying to be derogative, but it is what it is. All y'all got to do is lay down and open up, because God made heaven down there. Y'all don't have to have an erection. Y'all don't have to have stamina. Y'all don't have to have style. Just lay down.
Technically, but that's not true. We have pressure.
No, that is true. I'm listening.
We have pressure too.
Y'all, you don't have, not for a man?
Yeah. How many times have you heard men complain about a woman who just lays?
Hold on, Keisha. What you say, Doc?
How many times have you heard a man complain about a woman who just lays there?
He's still in it though.
Yeah, but
and he'll come back.
It's still pressure. It may not be as much pressure, but we have pressure too.
Yeah, we have pressure too. We got to worry about what size they are. Everybody wants.
What am I laying on my back deceiving?
But when I say pressure, I mean pressure to perform.
Pressure to perform, yeah.
Yes, because we and you're right. I have heard that about she just laid there. I get that, But rather she lays there or not, it's still heavenly. You know what I mean? Um, but we as men, like I said, we have to perform. We have to be creative because we're pleased automatically. We have to work to please y'all. So when it, like I said, when it comes to sex, the pressure is always on the man, and we have to figure out ways to please your to woman, especially your wife. And that's why it's hard, at least for me, to have. I don't want more than one woman because it's too much work and it's too expensive. And it's hard trying to please two women. It really is. Because one of them is going to have less than the other. It's hard trying to please two women in any way, emotionally, financially, sexually. That's hard.
Yeah.
You dig?
Well,
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Go
again,
ahead.
not all men are in it to please the women either.
Oh no, it ain't no fun unless y'all having fun. That's part of it. I want to hear the noise in the faces and grabbing all the. Oh, you dirty. It ain't no fun unless y'all having fun. Well, I'm talking too much. I'm sorry. What says you, Keisha?
Huh?
What says you?
I can hear you.
I said, do you agree that there's pressure on the man, more pressure on the man to please the woman in sex than the woman to please the man? Since we
No,
got the tools.
I think it goes both ways because you got some real aggressive women out here, just like you got some real aggressive men. I think it goes both ways. And then again, it depends on the couple.
Okay, that's
Just,
fair too.
I mean, it just depends on the couple. And in my relationship, my husband's more aggressive.
Oh shoot, cause he a nasty, but I can dig
He's
it.
the more aggressive person.
Come here, big sexy.
Yeah.
I can dig it. So let me ask you this: when your husband is aggressive, do you feel the need to please him? Like, do you think because a woman probably wouldn't have to think, oh, all I got to do is lay there. I'm blessed with heaven. A woman probably wouldn't think that. They probably, and I'm guessing, they probably think that they got to perform too. I'm gonna back that thing up tonight. You know what I mean? So do y'all have that pressure that do you think you have to perform too? That you don't just have to lay there? I'm
Well,
asking both of you.
not so much now because he half the time he be falling asleep. We up in age now. We up in. You
Well,
see,
how about before? Like,
when I was younger. When I was
yeah.
younger, yeah, it was a different issue. Man, we would have sex 2 or 3 times a day, but that's when we was younger.
But
we can't do that now.
But you felt that you had to perform. You just didn't want to lay there. You felt as a woman, I got to throw this on my man. Was that your thinking?
I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? To be honest, I can't remember a time that I did say that. I can't remember. Now, like I said, maybe when I was younger, but I don't remember.
What about you, Doc?
Maybe with Freddie, when I was with Freddie.
You felt that you had to throw it on him, like just
when I was with Freddie. I don't remember so much with Elliot.
Oh shoot, you naming names now. I hope there ain't gonna be no trouble.
No, it don't matter. It don't matter.
So Doc, how do you feel as a woman?
It
do
depends.
You feel like you have to perform and just laying on your back ain't enough? Do you feel you got to throw it at?
It depends. It depends on who, what, when, where, why. Sometimes I don't know that until I'm actually having sex. Sometimes, don't make your face like that.
No, I'm trying to understand you. Like you said, I don't know until I'm having sex.
Because okay.
Ain't it too late by then?
It's not. No, it's not too late. How's it too late?
Cause y'all doing it already.
When you're having sex, you're communicating.
Mm-hmm.
So you know if it's gonna be a lazy lay on my back night or if I need to get up and do something night.
Oh shoot! Talk that talk.
What I'm saying, because that's just like for a man. No matter what type of, I like to call them performer he is, he's gonna have a night where he just wants to have regular missionary and roll over and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna have a night where he wants to throw you up in the air. Or, it depends.
Sing a love song to you. I could dig it.
You have some men, for whatever reason, like they don't want you to do anything.
Just stay right there.
The whole situation.
Oh, you mean like for the whole night? Just stay right. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because sometimes for moments that spot is just so good. Please don't move. You know what I mean? It's just lovely right then and there. But I get it. I get it. See, and that goes to what I'm saying. Y'all don't got to do much. That goes to my point. You could just stay in one spot or just roll over. Y'all ain't got to do
definitely
nothing.
Have more pressure. That's not an argument. What I just didn't like when you said like we have no pressure at all. That's not true. Y'all definitely have more pressure.
Yeah, I think
why too. I think when it stops working, that's a real issue, like mentally for me.
When what stops working?
The penis.
Oh, okay. I just want to be clear because I was about to say vaginas don't stop working, but I just wanted to make sure because I didn't. It could have been either one, so I didn't know what you. So I just clarified. Well, maybe. Well, wait a minute. Can the vagina stop working? Does it come to now? We just talking anatomy now. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong about talking with the human body. I hope this is not vulgar and I'm offending anyone, but we talk about the human body. So, and any one of you can answer this. And when I say by not working, through time, is it sometimes that vaginas don't get as moist or aroused?
There's a lot of things that could happen. It could feel different and not the same and not as good. Yes.
So vaginas can go through changes too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, I ain't never had one. So I don't know.
Like you said, can't lack of moisture. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can wash it and it's still dry, huh? Yeah. I can dig it. So you got anything to add to this conversation, Dallas, Texas? Anything you would like to add or reiterate on?
Not at this time.
How about you, Doc?
I guess for me, like I think it's important for us to have conversations like this. It's important for us to listen to each other and respect each other's individualities because, we're sitting here, all hypothetical, but there are people who are actually, and there really are a lot of alternatives. You have like practitioners help people with stuff like this, like sex doctors. So a relationship shouldn't have to end, but again, the intention has to be there, or especially on the person who's not functioning anymore on their part, especially on their part.
So, Keisha, as a seasoned woman who's been married
twice
for over 2 decades now.
Yep.
What advice would you give to a younger woman if they were in that situation? I mean, I know you can only speak from your perspective and your point of view, but if someone was to come to you with advice, what would you say?
So advice that her better half or partner cannot perform, is that the question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for the clarity.
Okay.
She coming to you and say, I love him, I care for him, he takes care of me, but I'm just sexually frustrated and I don't know what to do. I want it, but I don't want to cheat on him. But at the same time, maybe I can get a hall pass. What can I do? What would you say?
First of all, that's a decision I can't make for her. I would have to tell her she need to. If you love somebody, it's hard. It's really hard. I would give her my perspective and probably guide her to go speak to a counselor, because that's a decision I can't make. That's something you have to figure out. I'm not going to tell you to cheat on your husband. I'm not going to do that. And I understand you're frustrated and you have the right to be frustrated, but that's a decision I can't make for you. And I would guide her in a different direction, because I can't answer that question for her. That's your husband.
No, that's an honest answer. I mean, what's your perspective? Because that's an honest answer, but is that your perspective?
That is my perspective.
Okay.
That's a question I can't. You can come to me and you can talk to me, and I'll listen to you all day long. But I can't. If you love this man like you say, and he's your husband, I'm not going to tell you, okay, understand you're frustrated. Go out and do what you need to do. I'm not going to tell you that. He's still your husband. You need to get counseling. Maybe there's somebody, talk to a minister. There's people out there, there's resources out here that can help people.
I can dig it.
But
what about, I'm sorry, go ahead, finish.
I'm not going to sit here and tell her to go cheat on your husband. I'm not going to do that. That's a decision you got to make.
I could dig it. What about you, Dr. Malivers? What do they call this? Closing statements or something? I done got professional words. So. What is your closing statements?
I'm telling her, girl, you better go through that back door and do what you got to do.
You serious?
No,
right?
I agree with Keisha. What I would add to that is I would tell her to do her due diligence, right? Research this and find out what all your options and alternatives are. I would definitely recommend counseling for her and for him. And then I would tell her to make sure that she can live with whatever decision she makes. Like, it's really something, and sometimes you just don't know, but communicate. Be honest and communicate. Be flexible, because they may try, oh, let me go outside of the marriage. If he's feeling insecure and he tells you that, you need to communicate back and just be real and honor yourself, first, because a lot of times we sit in situations and we make all of these sacrifices and it ends up blowing up in our faces anyway. So might as well be honest and do all that you can do. The intention has to be.
That you both have very insightful and educated answers, and I appreciate you both. Texas is in the house. New York via Texas. Guess where she from, Keisha? Originally.
Where?
Nyack, New York, Rockland County.
Really?
Yes,
where?
Ma'am.
Where?
Nyack, South Nyack, Boris Avenue.
Wow, what a small world.
Yep, small world.
What year you graduate?
95.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, right. She way past you, Keisha.
Yeah, I graduated in 81.
The old Nyack High School, though.
Yeah, me too. The old Nyack High School. Yep. Man, those were the good old days.
9th grade in the old Nyack High School, I think. Did I? I think I did 9th grade there.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah. So I want to thank both of you for taking your time out to talk about this situation. And I hope someone out there, once they see it, that some young woman or older woman could learn or get some insight, because you brought some points up that I didn't think of, or I would have never thought of, maybe because I'm not a woman. So you put a different perspective on it. So again, I want to thank you. Keisha, I want to thank you. Nurse Malivers, is that more accurate? Can I call you Nurse Malivers?
That's more accurate, yes.
I want to thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.